So we're going to delve a little bit into N and UZI and their relationship and how N carries a lot of caretaker traits and the good and the bad of that. So you can take a look if you yourself are a caretaker and do you align yourself with N, and let me know your thoughts at the end of the video.
Whoops! Easy there, buddy.
All of us have these dark side, these parts of us that we're trying to hide from the world. It is really wonderful and exceptionally healing to have someone that has this unconditional positive regard for us, that can accept us even at our worst. Now, that doesn't mean that we can just do anything and people should just accept it. That's over caretaking, and that can be unhealthy. But to be able to have someone that you trust enough to be able to be yourself is exceptionally healing, especially for those of us that have abandonment issues.
Ow! Up we go!
Now, for N, I think that it's really sweet that he doesn't really have a strong reaction, but remember, for those of us that are caretakers, we're often doing too much, accepting too much, and to learn to have those boundaries, because respect is something that you ask for. It isn't often just given. And if you're constantly used by everyone as a doormat, that's what you become. And that ends up affecting your self-esteem, where that's who you will believe that you are. So though I love that N is so accepting no matter what someone does, it can go too far where it ends up being actually detrimental to your friend group, but also to your self-esteem. And that'll change the choices that you make in your life. Also, where if you don't really believe that you deserve more, you won't expect it, and then you might keep people around that are just going to constantly hurt you. So there's definitely a delicate balance between where caretaking is something that is good and kind versus when it becomes malignant.
What did I say about antagonizing her?
Ugh, you always take her side.
And for V has a certain point, I think it's V has a certain point where she did just decapitate someone, but she is trying to do this also as a way to antagonize. So it can be something that grates really hard when someone is just constantly defending someone and never ever looking at your side of it either. Sometimes we can become so aligned with someone that we're not always looking at things as clearly as we could be.
UZI, you want to tell me what's the matter?
No, don't look. I'm gross and eating people and stuff.
Yeah, we'll figure that part out.
When you're dealing with someone that's in a lot of distress, a lot of the things that can be soothing is your body language and the way that you're speaking. N is speaking in a really soft tone. When you are in distress, when you worry that you're going to be judged, and for UZI to be rejected, to be able to have someone else that's really calm in their demeanor, and that doesn't just mean voice, it also means body language. And unconsciously, we also read the way that someone's breathing. When we're feeling really agitated, if someone else is really agitated as well, it actually increases our level of anxiety because we're made to live in groups. And so we end up unconsciously being able to read when someone else's anxiety or anger levels are really high, which increases our sense of danger, of things not being safe. So you want to remember that sometimes you might feel anxiety, but it isn't actually yours. You might be feeding off of someone else in the room as well. So you want to remember when you're interacting in a very high stressful situation that you can make the situation worse if you're panicking. That's why people often are like, you guys leave the room, let's have less people here, or make things more calm and tone down the levels of the situation just from your breathing, just from your voice and your tone. People feel safer with people that have their heads on their shoulders when the world is burning.
But you know that's not what I mean.
Are you, like, gonna leave me?
UZI?
Never mind, it's stupid.
And that's often our fear. Our fear is that if someone sees the true layers of us, that they're going to leave or they're going to abandon or they're going to be judged. Especially for someone like UZI, who's always felt like an outsider, been different, and because of that, been judged. So someone that is a caretaker, someone that is able to see through all of the layers of who you are into the depth of that and still stick around and still be with you at your worst, is such a precious thing. Again, you want to make sure that you still have healthy boundaries and consequences to that, because often if you have a lot of caretaking traits, you can also attach to people that will end up just using you and seeing this kindness as weakness. So you want to be really careful about minding what your needs are, because caretakers often forget themselves. They're thinking so much about everyone else because they get joy out of helping others that they don't remember that their job is also to take care of themselves, and actually to take care of themselves first. Caretakers often also have themselves on the lowest tier of the list of priority. So if you're taking care of your pets or even your plants before you're taking care of yourself, or you don't even think about taking care of yourself, that is an issue.
Before we met, scary stuff was actually pretty scary. And tonight too, because you weren't with me to make it fun somehow.
That's like one of my favorite lines, and it's so true. When you have someone that is the person that's your partner in crime, the person that you feel aligned to, even going through horrible things feels better. And they can make these moments that you would feel desolate have a light at the end of the tunnel. Some people can just bring brightness no matter what the moment might be. And those kind of friendships are so very special.
I kind of forgot what that was like.
Same.
Then we'll stick together.
Don't fucking touch it!
If you're gonna touch someone, you should always have consent. And the cutest part is that he's touching, I don't even know what it's called, her little like chomper creature at the end of her like cord. That's the like grossest part of her. And so by him being able to not just like touch it, but to be able to make this cute little voice that shows that it's not really scary when someone can take a look at something that you think is gross or that will turn people away from you, and to be able to see that even as endearing, that's like one of those wonderful signs of unconditional love. And that's the thing, is that when you really genuinely care about someone, you don't see them for the outside layers. You see them for the inside. The outside doesn't matter, which also really makes her feel accepted instead of rejected.
Plus, my voice is more like...
And I've actually done a similar thing in treatment with therapy when there's a part of you that you don't like, where you want to actually work on loving all the parts of you, that it might not be as beautiful or it might not be the shape that you want, but to be able to love all aspects of you. And so to be able to make it something that's cute or cuddly or speak to it in a loving way, we want to be able to accept ourselves fully, even the parts of us that we would want to change. That doesn't mean that we won't change and evolve, but you don't want to have parts of you that you hate. You might want to have parts of you that you change or that you don't like, but some people have such a strong aversion to themselves that it ends up affecting the rest of their daily life, and that isn't healthy. And then you see her, because of that, being able to mirror exactly the same thing, to be able to take this thing that she saw as abhorrent and to make it cute. And when we can make it cute, then it can be lovable. And some of the grossest things can become lovable because we're able to express that towards it. So sometimes you want to mimic something that you want to become. Do it enough times, fake it until you make it, and then eventually it becomes you.
Accent was a bad idea anyway.
And yes, I love that moment of he was holding her. It's just such a caring, thoughtful thing that he protected her and cared for her. And I'm not going to say that yes, everyone should be able to care for themselves, but it is also a really wonderful, safe thing when she was worried about being abandoned, but Anne was able to be there, not only not to abandon her, but to be able to carry her in her time of need. Sometimes we need to be able to reach out for help. And that does not mean that you're weak. That means that you're knowledgeable enough to know what you don't know. And sometimes that's the thing with therapy. If I needed to fix my car, I would not do it myself because I have no skills in that. It would be a smart idea for me to be able to bring it into the garage, not fix it myself, because that would end really poorly. That's the same thing for you. You're more important than your car. So if you need help, reaching out is a good thing. And all of us sometimes need help. We're not perfect, and that's okay.
And I'm sorry.
Not like you killed anyone.
Oh, no, I definitely...
Kidding! Just avoid another whole spire. Baby steps. Together?
I love it. It's sometimes journeys we need someone else to be able to support us. Some people are not fortunate enough to have that and need to take the steps themselves. But if you're ever feeling really alone, you can reach out. There are helplines, there are workbooks, there might be a different way to be able to do it. Talk therapy might not be the way for you, and that is okay. But knowing yourself and being really honest with the journey that you need to take is half of the battle. And the rest is actually doing the steps to be able to get there. But doing it in little tiny steps is much better. And remember, a lot of it is the process, not just the product. Our journey a lot is about learning and growing. And if we do that, we'll get there. And that's the other piece of it. Friendship is often about sharing emotions and support. And so I think that this relationship is going to grow. And that wonderful thing about being able to be from completely different cultures or belief systems and to be able to find that bond in a certain topic can make friendships grow. We often try to bond with other people by being able to share a similar feeling towards something. And that actually aligns us really closely. If you want to develop your own inner confidence, you can get close to that goal by expanding your mind and yourself with today's sponsor, Brilliant.org. Learn, enhance, grow with Brilliant's ever-expanding set of new courses. Brilliant makes college-level courses available to help you be smart in today's digital world. Each course is designed for high-velocity learning to help you stay focused and reach your goals fast. And Brilliant makes learning like a game with fun features that let you challenge yourself, compete with others, so it never gets boring. Because when learning is fun and engaging, it allows knowledge to stick better, so you remember more easily and for a longer period of time. And Brilliant has thousands of courses: math, chemistry, physics, engineering, computer science, with new courses being added every month. I've covered their courses on algebra, on logic, geometry, and I found them engaging. But not just engaging, I found that I could learn at the pace that I need to. So I just practice a skill for 15 minutes a day. That is all that you need. And no one can tell me they don't have 15 minutes to expand your own mind. And if you're still not sure, just try everything that Brilliant has to offer for free. I said it, free. 30 days. Go for it. You just head on over to brilliant.org/Georgia Dow. Yes, use my link, please. And that does still help out my channel. And if you want more, you can get 20% off of an annual premium subscription by clicking on my link. Just click on the button on the screen or head on over to brilliant.org/Georgia Dow. The drones are coming for us. We might not have much time. So thank you to brilliant.org and thank you to you. Hopefully I'll see you in the next video. So it's a little bit of N and the way that he's a caretaker. There are definitely good traits and bad traits of being a caretaker. They are some of the most lovely people, but remember that sometimes people will take your kindness and mistake it for weakness. So having boundaries and consequences are still a healthy thing. You can let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video.